What is going on, everyone? Today we are taking a look at a new bike from Tuttio. This one is called the Adria26 and it's a 26x4 fat tire bike with a 52-volt battery system and dual hub motors. Very impressive performance. So if strong acceleration, 40-mile-an-hour speed, and ample hill climb power are on your wish list, this is definitely one you're going to want to check out. The Adria26 is currently priced at $13.99 and has 26x4-inch fat tires, dual geared hub motors, one in each wheel, with an easy-to-use single push button to select your drive mode. It has a large capacity, 52-volt, 30-amp-hour battery pack, hydraulic disc brakes, dual suspension system, 7-speed mechanical gears, and a right-hand twist throttle, headlight, tail light, brake light, rear rack and fenders. The maximum capacity is 330 pounds. The minimum seat height is 34.5 inches. And the Adria26 weighs just 88 pounds, which is actually quite light for a dual motor e-bike. Now, right off the bat, one of the most impressive things I can tell you about this bike is the speed it's capable of. Take a look. All right, let's test the claimed top speed of the Adria26. On their website, I think it said over 40 miles an hour. Let's find out. Now this is flat level ground right here. We're going 40 on the bike, 38 on the GPS. So 38 is my top speed. Now we get a little bit of a decline. Let's see if that helps any. That takes me to 39. If I duck down, 38, 39 is about what I can do on it, which is fast for an e-bike. I got there like easily, a lot of power. All right, well, let's see if pedaling will change our top speed any. Right, pedal assist 5, let's get into 7th gear. Here we go. Oh man, this thing pulls like crazy. Holy cow. There's 40, 39 on the GPS, 40 on the GPS. Holding 40. My legs are tired. Whew. I did hit 40 on the GPS there. That's impressive. That's impressive. This bike's quick, man. Careful around this corner. Let's let off. There's a speed bump and a blind curve. Okay, now we can go back. Yeah, I mean, you really feel that front motor it just starts eating pavement when that thing kicks in. Whoa, speed bump at 40. This is a fun bike. This is a fun, and I guess I should say that. This is not, it's more of a budget bike in terms of the price. Definitely a budget bike. It's not high-end bicycle components. If you're looking for that, this ain't your bike. This is definitely worth the money. I paid $1,500 for my very first e-bike, and that bike had a peak of 750 watts, right? And I thought that was the greatest thing in the world. I mean, if I could go back in time and hand myself this thing and say this costs, $1,400, and to feel this power, oh my God, my head would have exploded. Like, you're kidding me. I don't know what this is putting down in terms of peak power, but it's got to be quite a bit. I don't think it's 5,000 watts. It's probably closer to like 3,500 maybe. It had a really strong pull for me, all the way up until about 38 miles an hour. That's about where it tops out. And that's some really great speed for an e-bike. In the settings, you can go in and adjust it all the way up to, I think, 63 kilometers an hour, which is roughly like 39 miles an hour. And that's about what this bike does. And of course, that is well beyond the class 2 or class 3 e-bike settings. So be mindful of your local regulations. The power that's available to you in this bike is, I think, certainly one of its selling points, and it puts the power to the ground really nicely. There's not a whole lot of front wheel spin, which is something that's quite often a problem on dual motor e-bikes. All right, let's show you a couple launches here. This is just rear wheel only. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Pretty good little launch. I like it. Let's spin around and do all-wheel drive now. All right, so all-wheel drive, all we do is push one button, boom, we're in all-wheel drive. Here's our launch. 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. It's stronger, but it's not like break your neck, throw you back in the seat strong. It's got a good launch. I mean, it puts the power to the ground nice. You don't get the wheel spin at all. There's no wheel spin. It's like this bike has traction control. Even if I try to make it spin, usually if you lift up on the bar some, take all the weight off them, it'll spin, but this one doesn't. You can't even make the wheel spin. If I lift the front wheel in the air, maybe, but it's the front wheel's on like a delay. It doesn't kick in until you're already rolling for a little bit. And it kicks in so smooth, you can barely feel it. But you lift the wheel in the air. Still, you can't make the front wheel spin, which is nice because you don't have to worry about, you know, getting squirrely on you in the front end, which is the dangerous part of all-wheel drives. But if I can probably do a throttle, this is all-wheel drive, full blast power. I'm doing a U-turn under throttle power. That's very drivable. That's pretty drivable. Most bikes can't do that. Let me see if I can start. Let's start it like this with the front wheel turned. Full power. You ready? Go. Didn't even spin. Just gripped and took off. Once it's rolling, man, it rolls. In an acceleration, the tires just grabbed really well. No wheel spin. In the dual motor mode, it gives you a strong, steady, even pull of acceleration. I really think they nailed that. And even in just rear motor only, that still give you a pretty strong pull. If you like a strong, powerful e-bike, this one does not disappoint. Even had a really great showing on the hill climb test. All right, time to go over here and do a throttle only hill climb test. Kind of excited for this. I think it's gonna put down a good time. This bike, wow, I mean, it's kind of mild-mannered on the acceleration, but once it kicks in with both wheels and gets rolling, I mean, yeah, I'm not even twisting the throttle the whole way. This thing moves on out. Gosh. It's so much fun. Holy cow. All right, man, let's see what this thing's got. Hill climb. We are in pedal assist 5, so we get full power. I'm not gonna pedal though, it's throttle only. Timing going up the hill. The dual motor bikes, they'll run it, you know, the fast ones do like 13, 14 seconds. And then the slow ones do, I don't know, 18, 19 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. No wheel spin. And now it's motoring. This is gonna be really strong. Wow, he's cruising. Time. Whoa. That was great. That was great. I can tell they're really fast when I have trouble like keeping it on the path. Because that path curves. That's gotta be in the 14-second range. This has got to be close to the top of the list. It's got to be. That felt real strong. The front motor is on like a delay. It gives you like all rear motor. And then when that front kicks in, man, it just takes off like crazy. But tremendous power on this. Very impressed with the power delivery on this thing. All right, we're going up this short, steep little hill here. Let's see how she does. Straight on, straight up. Oh my gosh, with ease. With ease. I've had bikes really struggle on that. This just crushed it. That was easy. Getting pretty impressed with this bike here. Pretty impressed. Now we're at the bottom of this neighborhood. It's a long, long hill out of here. Let's just let it do its thing. Here we go. Throttle only. It's on the move. 25, 27. Just pulling us out of here like it's nothing. 33 miles an hour, 34. Man, this thing, it's got a lot of power. I'm kind of curious to see how far the battery's gonna take us because it is just feeding me so much power. Just flew up that hill like it wasn't even there. Really strong hill climb power. There is enough power here to get you into some trouble if the bike doesn't deliver that power to the rider in a controllable way. And this one actually does a really good job of putting the power down to the ground without being uncontrollable. It's a very manageable bike to ride. Here's a little bit more on that. But let me give you a little bit more on the power delivery here. So let's go back to pedal assist 1. And we'll just start going here. The throttle is linked to the pedal assist. So level 1 pedal assist, you get level 1 throttle, which is 14 miles an hour. 2, it's gonna take you, it kicks in pretty hard, up to 20. 3, throttle's gonna take me to like 28. And then 4 and 5, keep going. Same with pedaling. And it's gonna take me to those same mile per hour markers. It's speed based. It takes you to a certain speed and then it stops. So let's take it to pedal assist 2. I'm going to really slowly start pedaling. Here we go. That's 1 full rotation. And about 1 1/4 before it kicked in. And now it took me all the 20 and then just cut out. So the pedal assist is kind of laggy, I guess. So I'm going to start pedaling. Yeah, it's more than a full rotation before it kicks in. And then it's kind of a gradual kick in. Honestly, which is probably what you want on this thing. You don't want that power to just click on like a light switch and throw you back or set the wheels spinning. So pedal assist, you got to get a good pedal and a half before it finally kicks in, which I got to say is going to be good because, if it kicked in after a quarter turn or, it would be catching you off guard all the time where you're just kind of accidentally turning the pedals and boom, it kicks in. You don't want that. So I'm happy with this setup. I think that's fine because if let's say I'm at a stop like this and I want to start pedaling and get power, I'm going to start pedaling. I'm in a really high gear. I'm in 6th gear. Oh God. And it's not kicking in. I'm like, where's the power? Where's the power? If I need it, I can just hit the throttle and it's there instantly. So it doesn't really matter that it takes so long to kick in because you can just twist the throttle and get the power instantaneously. And all-wheel drive is super easy to use. I love it. It's a button. Like that, you're in single motor. Push like that, you're in dual motor. You can't select the front wheel individually. I don't know why you'd want to anyway. But a lot of them you can do that. You can't do that on this. You're either in rear wheel or all-wheel drive, dual motor. That's your only options. The button's either on or off. I like the button. I don't like when you have to hold the I button and toggle and look at the screen. This is so much easier because it's instant. You're going up a hill and you decide, oh, I need more power. Let's do it over here on this hill. There you go. We're in rear wheel drive. And I start going and I say, oh, I really wish I had more power. So if I hit dual motor, wait for that front motor to engage, there it goes, kicks in, pulls me right out. So you don't have to hold the screen and toggle. It's a faster kick in. So I'm a big fan of the buttons. I much rather have a button or a switch than using the control pad. I just find that cumbersome. This one though is controllable enough that I just ride it in all wheel all the time. I spend almost all my time in the dual motor mode. I like the strong power, and this one was very drivable in that mode, so I just left it there. Now in terms of the ride position, ride quality, comfort, here's a little bit of information on those areas. Here's a look at what the pedaling ride position looks like. It's a pretty comfy bike. I don't feel real stretched out at all. The handlebars are a little low maybe, but not bad. It's really comfy. Now, these brakes are DY Island brakes. I don't think that is a very well-known brand. I have had them before. I do like them, they work. I'm gonna lock them up here for you right now. So from 30-ish, they're very powerful. I mean, they grip hard. There's a lot of feeling in the levers. I like them. They do a good job. I don't know, we'll see how long they last. They've been quiet, they've been smooth, they've been strong. Suspension, the front's really soft. The back, a lot firmer. You can tell it's there, but it's not like a really far amount of travel on the rear suspension. It's just enough to kind of take some out of the bumps, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's soft. Maybe if I was a lot heavier, it'd probably be just right. But at 180, I don't really compress it that much. You can see it working or not. The front is, there's no micro adjustment to it. It's just on or off. You can lock it out, lock that fork out, or have it free to spring. And it's pretty soft. But price point, you gotta think price point. They didn't spend all their money on suspension. They spent it on power. I'm digging the blue metallic rims. I think they look great. Let me give you an idea of the sizing on this bike. I'll put the minimum seat height on the screen. There's minimum seat height, and I am 6 feet tall. So this is what I look like on the bike. I can flat foot. It's probably 34, 35, probably 33, 34 inches, I'm guessing. Pretty good ride position. I've been riding it higher. Let me put the seat where I had it. I'm probably riding it about here-ish. Yeah, probably somewhere in there. I usually ride with like 36, 37 seat height. Like that. Just get my toes down. Kind of almost wanted to be up a little bit higher, but it's pretty good. Because it's not a far reach where you're stretched out like this. And at the end of the ride, your shoulders are killing you. They're back to you. The wheelbase of this is like 45, 46 inches, I think. And then I have noticed that I think the angle of the fork is a little bit, the rake is less, I guess, because when I turn, I'm always hitting my toes on the front fender and the wheel. I guess maybe you're supposed to ride maybe like that with your ball of your foot on the pedal. I don't know. I ride like this. I think most people probably do that. And my toes are always hitting this in turns. And then also too, I'm always concerned that am I going to hit this key with my knee on a sharp turn? If I'm pedaling, I can absolutely hit that key. I could break that thing off, which would not be good because that's your ignition. That's how you ride this bike. I wish you could remove the key once it's turned on, but that has to stay in, sticking out like that. So not my favorite, but I haven't kicked it yet. I will say that. You got to be turned pretty sharp, and you have to be pedaling in the turn really sharp to actually bump it with your knee. So I don't like it there, but it hasn't been a problem. I have not hit it yet. But also too, if the bike fell over and landed on that, that could be an issue. Now, for being a dual motor bike with a pretty substantial battery pack, 52 volt, 30 amp hour battery pack, it's not outrageously heavy. I mean, it's not that bad. It's heavy. It's a fat tire, dual motor, big battery e-bike, and but it's not like that. I shouldn't be able to do that with a dual motor bike like that. It feels real light in the back end. This feels super light. So you can, if you want to turn it around your garage or something, that feels really, really light because all your weight, the battery is here, and then the motors, that weight's evenly distributed. So it's kind of balanced. It's not, I think it was like 89 pounds or something like that. It was pretty darn light. Let's just see how the suspension feels off-road. It's a stiff suspension. Taking a little sting out of these bumps, but throttle only. We're at this little short hill. The front wheel's spinning a little bit. Not bad. Suspension's okay. It's okay. I'd like it to be softer, but it's okay. But yeah, power for off the pavement, I think it's pretty good. Okay, this looks like a four-wheeler track here. Let's just power through. Ooh, I did not want to get muddy, but I'm failing at that. Ow, briars. I'm not pedaling at all. This bike's doing all the work for me. Yeesh, this is all briars. There is no trail here. What? Where were they going on that path? Oh man, okay. That's just a mud hole. This is the end of our off-roading. I wish I could find a way to get back on the street. I'm not gonna go back through all this. Yeah, I mean, it could be a little adventure machine for you. This is where the fat tires come in handy. I can float over this mud. And I've got them inflated really high too. They're at like 20, 21 PSI. Somewhere in there. Ooh. Dig your way out. Okay, I'm gonna have to thoroughly clean this when I get home. There we go. Streets. I like this so much better. Room to run. Smooth ride. We should look at how much mud I caked on this thing. It's not too bad. My tires got the worst of it, and then a bunch of mud right here. Slammed into the controller. Yeah, we're gonna have to wash this when we get home. So with the exception of my toes running into the front fender every once in a while, I was pretty at home on this bike. A lot of the comfort for me on a bike is how upright I can get myself. I don't like to be really hunched over, leaned over, reaching for the bars, and you don't really have to reach very far for these. I have the handlebar stem, it's adjustable. I put it like the whole way straight up, and it was a good reach to the bars. The suspension did okay. I mean, it's not really high-end suspension, but it did help. And I think when you're creating a bike with this much performance and this much power at this price, there's gonna be some trade-off somewhere. And it also comes with a pretty large battery pack, 52 volt, 30 amp hour battery pack. So I definitely wanted to do a range test and see how far I could go powering both of these motors. Here's how that went. But the next part of our adventure is we got to figure out how long this battery is going to last. We're going to do it pretty much, full throttle. All-wheel drive, full throttle. I've gone about 15 miles so far today on it. Just beating the heck out of it. 53.4 volts right now out of our 52 volt battery. So let's see how far it can take us with good power. I'll let you know when the batteries die or when we lose power. All right, time for a quick check-in. I'm about 24 miles into this range test, just hitting it all out full throttle. It's lost a little step. It's still really powerful. Around the neighborhoods in town, it pulls really hard, but top end is a little bit less. It was going full charge, I believe, 38, 39. So let's give it a nice top speed run here on this country road. Well, maybe I lied. It still does 37, but that's on the bike, which is a couple miles an hour fast. It's probably doing like 35, 36 at this point. It was doing like 40, 41 originally. So it's lost a couple miles an hour on the top end, but still, I mean, crazy amount of power. The voltage sag, I'm down to 46.2 under throttle power. So we're getting pretty low on the battery. Once we get down to the low 40s, we're gonna be running out of juice. There you go, still great usable power. But holding it wide open on these roads like this is how I burn through battery real quick. I wish this had a watt meter on it so I could see how much power I'm pulling out of here. Very strong brakes. One finger to do the brakes. Let's get on the straight here, I'll show you. All right, so we're going 30 miles an hour, one finger. Wow, really strong brakes. And there's a bunch of chickens randomly on the side of the road. Okay. I guess we are in the country. All right, I think we've reached the end of our range test. I've gone 31 miles. 31 miles, full blast. Here's how much power is left. It still moves the bike, but nowhere near the incredible power it had at the beginning. So 31 miles, I say I had excellent power for probably the first 25 miles, and then it started falling off pretty fast after that. We're top speed right now, this is full throttle. 31 miles. I mean, given how I was riding this thing just all out all the time, I didn't think that was too bad. I mean, your range is gonna depend on so many things. You just gotta kind of think about how you're gonna ride the bike, how hilly is it, how much you're gonna use the throttle. I was just blasting the throttle, full throttle the whole time. So hopefully this all-out range test gave you some kind of rough idea of the minimum range to expect. So for me, this bike was a ton of fun. Great ride experience. I mean, I love the speed. I love the power. I was having a ball ripping this thing around town. There is a lot of power here for 1,400 bucks. And of course, you don't have to ride it like I rode it. You could take this out for a much reserved, lower key ride and it would do just fine. But sometimes it's nice to have that extra power for a steep hill or maybe to get yourself up to speed in traffic. So if this looks like one you might have interest in, I'll link it below so you can check it out further. And if you have any questions I didn't cover, drop those in the comments for me. And as always, I hope you found this video helpful, informative, maybe at least entertaining. If you did, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.